right where the sun's going down, that's the Mount of Olives. Actually, you can see it better now that the sun's going down further. That's the Mount of Olives. What we're looking at right now on this slope, on this side of the mount, is the town of Bethany, the hometown of Mary and Martha. That's where Lazarus was raised from the dead, right there. So that's the Mount of Olives. Just the other side of that, it goes down, that's the Kidron Valley, which is very small, not nearly as big as this. And then is the Temple Mount and the city of Jerusalem. So we are very close. We're on the Jericho Road. Well, practically, this is the Jericho Road. We're on the Jericho Road, and Jericho's a 2-mile walk this way. In fact, we can see part of Jericho down there, and we can see the beginning of Jerusalem, the Mount of Olives, right there. So we're in between Jericho and Jerusalem. This is St. George Monastery. It's a Greek Orthodox monastery, and the monks were killed sometime in I believe it was the early 7th century, when invaders came in and they massacred them. So this is kind of a holy site for the Greek Orthodox Church. Over here you get a tremendous view of the Jericho Road. This is the road, the trail.
Right.
The trail over on the other side of the valley.
Yeah.
That's the road. That's the Jericho Road. That's what Jesus took when he went from Jericho to Jerusalem. It was a full day's walk, so that you would have to start early in the morning, and you don't get into Jerusalem until late.
Was this ravine here during that time?
Oh yes, absolutely. This ravine was here. This hasn't changed. This is today it's called Wadi Kelt, but it was Jericho Road. So Jesus would have taken this. In fact, anybody would have taken this, going from Jericho to Jerusalem. This was the highway.
So cool.
Did there used to be a stream or river down there?
When it rains,
Oh, okay.
it's like many rivers here. There's no water unless it rains.
Right.
So when Jesus told about the Good Samaritan, he said, a certain man went from Jericho to Jerusalem and fell among thieves. All right, now look at this. Look how many places there are for thieves to hide.
Yeah.
See the caves underneath, see the caves on top. They surprise you coming around a curve. Where do you go? How do you get away? There's, a couple of them here. One man traveling alone comes around the curve. There's 2 men here, and there's another guy that's hiding back there, and he jumps out. Where can you go? He fell among thieves, and they left him. They beat him and stripped him and left him half dead. Okay, and then he said the Levite came along and saw him and passed on the other side. Now, does that mean that I think he came across and passed on the other side? In some parts of this ravine, this valley between Jericho and Jerusalem, there's a path on either side. So when it said he passed on the other side, I think it meant he came over to the other side. He didn't want to help him. But the Good Samaritan came, and he bound him up, bound up his wounds, put him on his donkey, which is the typical mode of transportation here, even today, and took him to the inn. All right? Now, we're up on the road. We're going to pass what they call the Samaritan's Inn, or the Inn of the Good Samaritan. But, really, it could have been anywhere. It could have been exactly where this monastery is. Someplace where if travelers got a late start, they could spend the night and at least be safe from the thieves.
Right. Very cool.
That's amazing. Wow. So he walked there. So how has this been preserved? This road, just by use?
By use, by constant use. Yeah.
It's still in use today.
It's still in use today because of tourists and because of people going to the monastery. So these people go into the monastery.
Right, 'cause it's the only way there.
It's the only way there, and they have to get supplied somehow.